Greetings, traveler.
Hello everyone. On July 11th, quests will be back in a game. That's why I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me to make a video giving you guys a head start in that meta. Let's get going. First off, what is the quest meta? Very quickly, on turn 4, you will be offered a choice of 3 quests. You will have a certain requirement like play 5 murlocs or spend 40 gold or whatnot, and you will get a reward. Each reward is tied to the individual quest, so some quests are going to be very difficult with a very nice reward attached to it. Other quests will be a bit easier with a more moderate reward attached to it. This changes the way how you play the game drastically, but sometimes a quest is just a nice little boost. So yeah, let's dive in. What is this all about? Number 1, you need to understand that armor is very important in the quest meta. Outside of the quest meta, armor is a tool to give a little bit of a boost to weaker heroes. You get a little bit more health. That's fine, but nothing game breaking. In quest meta, armor is a serious consideration because the more armor your hero has, the easier your quest is. At least that's how it was last time, and I'm assuming that's going to stay the same. Because I thought that was a wonderful way to balance the game. Right now, there's a lot of heroes that have a lot of armor, and you still don't really want to take them. In the quest meta, those are pretty good, so you can't really get unplayable heroes in the quest meta. You either get a hero with not a lot of armor, but a great hero power, or you get a hero with a lot of armor and an easy quest. So, great. I love that mechanic, but just know it's there. Don't immediately skip the hero that has a lot of armor, as you've been conditioned to. All right, number 2, and this is so incredibly important, I can't stress this enough, is pick quests you can complete. Don't look at the reward too much. Look at the requirement, especially when you're new, especially if you're a little rusty, right? You didn't play that much during the previous quest meta. Just pick stuff you can complete. And especially on the first few days where everyone is going to be distracted by, oh, the shiny rewards and, oh, this would be so good if I can complete it. Who cares if I'm like, 5 or 7 turns away? It doesn't matter, right? If I get it, I will win. And, spoiler, they don't get it, you die. So pick stuff you can complete. That is probably my number 1 best advice for the quest meta. That will put you so far ahead of the pack at the start. It'll take the others a while to realize, well, I've died 7 times now picking pilfered lamps. Maybe I should just pick the smoking gun or whatever equivalent there will be. On that note, it's totally fine to deviate from your standard curve to complete the quest. So a good example is used to have a cookbook. Cookbook gave your minions in the shop +1/+1 for every minion you had bought. So what a lot of players did, at least at high level play, they didn't even tier past tier 2 for quite a while. So they just bought economy units on tier 2, something like a gambler or a scout or a tad. I'm not even sure if scout was in the game back then, maybe it was. But that's really nice because you get to very efficiently boost your shop, and the requirement for cookbook a lot of the time was buy X amount of minions or X of types, so murlocs or dragons or whatnot. And if you're not spending money on leveling, you can spend that money on buying units, therefore completing your quest. Because if you are buffing your shop like that, you don't have to level. That's another thing that's very important, and I will tie that in with my next point, is that you should look at quests from one of 2 positions. A quest can make you strong, so you just have a lot of power, a lot of tempo, and you can convert that tempo in a win by then buying good cards. So an example would be, I get smoking gun, I buff my board, that allows me to win fights, I level, I get access to Fell Stomper, I can build around that, I get good cards, and I can just tempo people out and win the game. Or you could get a really early completion on something like Tiny Henchman, which is not a premium quest or quest rewards by any means, but if you get it really early, you scale your board so you can level because you get stronger without spending money. Then you get to tier 6, you buy Tethys, APM Pirates, and suddenly you use that to win the game. So that's one way to play. The other way is to pick a quest that really gives you direction and allows you to play completely around the quest and win the game from the quest. So I already mentioned Cookbook. That would be one of those quests. Once you have Cookbook, the rest doesn't really matter anymore. You just focus on Cookbook. You just cook. You just buff your shop. And if there's magnetics in the game, that's great, because then you can scale up your Deflectobot or other units very, very fast, because magnetics really love shop buffs. But it can also be something like Pilfered Lamps, where you just have to focus about completing the quest, and once you have the quest completed, you can ride the quest to the victory. You know, I talked about it earlier. Pilfered Lamps is this amazing quest, but I hope it's coming back. I'm not sure exactly on all the quests that are coming back. I'm assuming there will be some new ones as well. But Pilfered Lamps was this iconic high roll quest where you only need 2 cards of a... You'd only need 2 cards for a triple. So it's like a duo. Instead of triples, you hit duos. So that obviously makes it very easy to triple, and you can just use that to win the game. There's also something like Sinstone. Sinstone is another one of these amazing cards that just gives you so much high roll potential. So those are in the second category, where you just have to complete the quest and then play around the quest. So at the start of the game, think about the armor on your hero, because that can be very useful. Think about, can I complete the quest? Look at the requirement, very important. And then ask yourself, is this quest something that makes me strong and I then need to get a win condition? Or is my quest the win condition, and can I allow to, or is it good for me to just really invest in completing the quest? Because if you invest everything you have into completing a Tiny Henchman and you're completely underleveled and you have nothing, Tiny Henchman on itself isn't going to win you the game. So this is what I mean. You have to be aware, what does my quest do? All right, guys, have a great quest meta. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.